And we've got another example of just that, a veteran sharing his love of music with others suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder.
PTSD has such a debilitating effect on so many servicemen and women, it's awful to think of anyone suffering in silence.
Which is the value of organizations like Music Heals Veterans in Pembroke, Ontario. Ottawa presenter Shelby Travers stopped by one of their weekly music classes and spoke with organizer Chris Blackstock.
The motivator to me is really helping others, and it's also healing me as well.
Chris Blackstock is one of the driving forces behind the new organization, Music Heals Veterans. He shares his own experience with post-traumatic stress disorder.
I was in the Navy 25 years, and I spent most of my time deployed. The major contributor was the Gulf War, 1991, sitting off the coast of Kuwait with all the missiles flying over us while we're in minefields and stuff like that.
Through it all, Chris found that music helped with his symptoms of anxiety and depression.
It just helps me so much because when you're playing guitar, your brain is so busy thinking about what you're going to do with your fingers on the fretboard and how you're going to strum that you don't have time to think about anything else. So it really takes you away from all those other things that are in your brain, and it's just very soothing and very healing.
That is the premise behind Music Heals Veterans, a volunteer-run organization that provides guitars and music lessons at no cost to those battling with PTSD.
Right, so all you're doing is setting up the form for the E minor, but you're doing it in a way that sounds fun. That's about it.
Will Wells is one of the instructors who gives his time weekly. He is also a 14-year veteran with PTSD.
Mine comes around from Afghanistan. I was involved in a couple of incidents. Saw some friends not make it back. I don't want to see any more veterans or now first responders. I want to see them suffering. I don't want to see people go through a lot of what I went through.
For Will, sharing his own experience is just as much on the lesson plan as the guitar.
Anybody who's sitting beside you in the room, whether they were a civilian or they were military, if they've got a guitar in their hand, they're here for the same reasons. There's that comfort factor. You're back in with people that you don't have to say anything, but they get it. It's made huge differences in my life. Yeah, and I want to be able to give that back to people.
One of those people is Scott Duffy. He was diagnosed with PTSD late into his 30 years of service with the armed forces. Joining Music Heals Veterans as a student helps him manage the debilitating symptoms of the disorder.
I thought maybe learning how to play the guitar would be a valuable sort of resource for me, something I could reach out and do in the middle of the night when I'm having a bad evening. By having this on the calendar for every Thursday night, it started so that it basically becomes like that mile marker. Like, I have to go there. There's other people expecting to see me. And over time, you begin to look forward to it.
Will stresses to all his students that the hardest part is just getting out and breaking the isolation. And then the healing begins.
They go from being very quiet, kind of closed off, really nervous. And yeah, when you see people start coming together and they start, as they're playing, whether they're playing really hesitantly or they're still making their mistakes, but as you hear that song start coming out that they're trying to play, and you can just see that confidence level just starts coming up, and it's awesome.
Instructor Jason Costello has no connection to the military, but believes in the healing power of music.
I've always believed in I call it the gift in music. I've been given guitar lessons for 10 years and I've never charged anyone. And I just believe, like, if you give someone a tool to be creative, to get out of their head, to give them something to do, that you're enriching their lives. And you're giving them the opportunity to grow or to get out of a certain mind frame that they're in or get out of a rut.
Music Heals Veterans will continue to benefit the students and the instructors for a long time to come.
We're all in this together, and I'm getting a lot from them. I may be doing administration and stuff to make this program work, but I'm getting a ton out of this every Thursday night when I come here.
I'm being selfish about it because helping them is helping me, right? So it keeps me grounded. It's a place where I need to be at least once a week to just help keep my own sanity.
Music really does have healing powers.
As does camaraderie. Just spending time with other people who understand what you're going through can really help.
And knowing that feelings of isolation are often associated with PTSD, this group sounds like a great resource for servicemen and women working through it.
If you would like to connect with Music Heals veterans, you can look them up on Facebook.